Hello, my name is Hassaan and I'm your co-head of news of FuseTV, and I'm with Gabrielle Bailey, the Officer for Faculty of Biology, Medicine and Health. And we're just doing an interview just to get to know more about what you've done for the past year. So can you describe what your role entails?
So I basically represent the students within the Faculty of Biology, Medicine and Health. I represent them at the highest level in the uni, so I make sure that their voices are heard in any meetings where decisions are made, basically, about what's going to be happening within that faculty.
Alright, thank you. And so what other responsibilities does that role entail?
Ooh, there's a lot, to be fair. I feel like you spin a lot of plates as an exec officer. So in terms of responsibility, as well as like being the student voice in the room, you're also working on your priorities, as well as working with the rest of the exec team to work on shared priorities as well. I'd say that's the main thing, to be fair, but those priorities are like very varied depending on the year and state of the world.
Of course, thank you.
And state of the uni, I guess.
Thank you. On your dedicated executive Instagram, you have monthly updates describing what you've done. And while we wait for the October post, do you want to describe what you've done in the past month?
Ooh, it's a long list. To be honest, I'd have to bring out the actual camera post for my gaps. A mix of things, to be fair. A lot of it has been said in the exec officer's newsletter that goes out. I think you can find that on the SU website as well. A lot of the stuff I've been doing has been to do with student voice again, so representing students in the room, advocating to have student reps in the meetings as well, because I feel like sometimes they're not welcomed into meetings. Like they're invited, but I feel like the space isn't as welcoming as it could be, so advocating to make that more welcoming. Working on my priorities as well, so working on enhancing academic support in terms of academic advising and the PASS system, increasing mental health initiative awareness at the uni, and trying to get free exam breakfasts expanded at the uni, so mostly working on that pretty much.
Now, we respect that. Actually, on the point of free breakfasts,
go on.
I remember you were mentioning that the free breakfast program is something you're really passionate about. And how you want to have it during during exam seasons, but also during other challenging academic periods. So will students this semester be able to experience the benefits of the free exam breakfast?
I'm hoping to get that out by January, so hopefully yes is my answer.
Okay, great. And then other than the free breakfast, are there any other ways you're planning to help students go through the cost of living crisis?
There is actually a basic needs facility that is, I think we have got the funding for that. I think it is going through, so that should be set up hopefully the end of this year, maybe next. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I've attended a few meetings about that, so that is quite important to the exec team, and that is being worked on currently.
Well, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
I've also noticed there's been lots of collaboration between the Student Union of Manchester and that of Leeds and Sheffield, and you have had meetings recently. So is there any plans for any future collaborations?
I think there is. I would have to check my calendar to see if there's any meetings coming up soon, but there is definitely going to be more collaborations. I think we're quite passionate about collaborating with other SUs in the north and in the country as a whole. It's nice that SUs aren't in competition with each other.
Of course,
so it's a nice way. It's nice to collaborate with them, basically, so yeah.
Okay, that's great to hear. And I also noticed you got involved with the group working group. And how research shows that students don't really feel the value of group work. And how you as a team want to make sure that students understand the value of it. So is there any other way you plan to help students with their experience with group work?
Yeah, I think all the education execs should be in that working group. And I guess it's just about making sure students are aware of why group work is needed, because I don't think we emphasise that enough in uni. Because I know when I used to do group work in my degree, it was just like, you're just doing this. They didn't really tell you why. It was just like, this is your group, you're doing this because I said so. So it'd be nice to kind of explain why that's necessary, in for employability reasons, for instance, in the future, you will have to do group work with people. So just emphasising that, for instance, would go a long way regarding how students feel about group work, I think.
Of course. But what about more dealing with why specifically students don't like group work, except for just telling them that this is why it's important?
what addressing why.
And the research shows that they don't really like group work. So except for like telling them why you have to do group work, is there any other ways to address the issue?
I guess that's what the group work working group is for. Like that question we brought up in meetings, and that would be discussed.
Of course, of course. Right, thank you. On the theme of work, you had a recent meeting with the Enhanced Assessment Review and discussed how you plan to improve assessments. So what's the plans with that?
That's a massive question.
Well,
there's loads of steps. It's a long process. I think the Enhancing Assessment Review is only being rolled out in the School of Biological Sciences at the moment, so SBS. I've attended one workshop about that so far, where it was just mostly teaching a bunch of academics within SBS how to essentially refine their assessments, like get rid of unnecessary ones, stuff like that.
Okay.
And there's more to it than that, obviously, but it's,
Can you maybe expand?
I could send you a piece of text afterwards if you want detailed steps, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot to list at the moment. I don't know how much detail I can go into about it.
Oh, of course, no worries about that. Okay, cool, thank you. And so what other initiatives are there in place to help students and support them with research and professional development within biology, medicine and health?
What, in terms of employability? And
well, just in general, what support is there to help them? Okay, let's about employability then.
Okay. That's one of our shared priorities as an education team this year, like the education execs. So me, Nahid, Katie and Adil. Just making sure that they're aware of what their careers service offers, I guess, in terms of professional support, and like helping them with soft skills as much as I like using that term. Stuff like that, I guess.
That makes sense. And for research?
For research, I guess making students more aware of like how the uni views research, because when I was a student I didn't realise that my professors were researchers. Like what they were doing behind the scenes, they were like carrying out research in labs and stuff, and it wasn't until I did a placement year in research that I realised how research intensive this university was. So maybe making students aware of that, giving them more opportunities to take part in research, like short-term research, not apprenticeships, internships.
Of course.
That'd be nice,
Okay, thank you. You also mentioned how passionate you are about student mental health. So what initiatives are there in place to help students in the faculty, especially given how high stress these degrees can be?
So the student union actually has a great mental health advice service, and the student hubs are really good at signposting people to these mental health services that the university offers. So I've been working with the comms lead in FBMH to create a comms strategy to basically enhance awareness of the mental health services that are in place at the university, because they do have great stuff there, but the students just don't know about it. Like they don't know where to look, they don't know like what is in place. So yeah, I've just been trying to enhance awareness of that pretty much.
Right, thank you. And are there any other new plans for further new mental health initiatives?
New? I'm not sure. However, I know that a mental health newsletter is going out in either late December or early Jan, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
So there'll probably be a few things mentioned in there.
Great.
Regarding, new mental health service stuff.
Thank you. And so, what are your plans for the rest of the academic year?
Probably to carry on working on my priorities. So there's a few stuff with academic advising that I want to work on. When I was a student researcher with the SU last year, we did a massive project with research and insight on academic advising. Since reviews were very mixed, like some people had great academic advisors, some people didn't. So I just want to make sure that that's more consistent throughout the uni, as well as working on the PASS system, so peer assisted study sessions, ensuring that that is reviewed, and seeing if we can improve that within FBMH too, as well as my other priorities.
Can you discuss more about the PASS system to the audience?
Sorry. So the PASS system is like second or third year students who like run almost study sessions for younger students at the uni, not younger, first year.
Yes.
But yeah, when I was at university, because I started in 2020, the pass system was almost non-existent. I barely knew it was a thing until I was in my final year / when I was an exec officer. So it'd be really good to review that system and see who has it, and see whether the courses who do have it, see how they feel about it and if it's any good. So I think we'll be talking about that at the faculty forum that's coming up soon in end of November. I want to say it's the 27th.
Right, thank you. And there's some questions about you. So why did you apply for this role?
Yeah, so when I was a student researcher, as I said, I saw that there was lots of stuff that, I'm not going to say wasn't great about the uni, but stuff that could be improved.
Of course.
And I thought, if not me, who? Like, who would make those changes? Because I felt like I had really good insight on what the university sphere was like. So yeah, I was quite passionate about making those changes, and I figured I may as well.
Yes, and what was the main things you noticed that you wanted to make a change on?
It was academic advising, honestly. That's what spurred me to apply for the role. Just because I knew that it was just really inconsistent throughout my faculty, like even with friends, like some friends said that their advisors don't know their name. And that was unbelievable, because to me my academic advisor was wonderful. Like, I could not imagine not having her. Yeah. So I wanted everybody to have that type of support in uni. So I think that's what encouraged me to apply for the role.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
And so do you plan to reapply for this role and re-go for elections?
Potentially, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say potentially.
Great.
Yeah. I think I will put my name down. Yeah.
Great. And do you have any final last words to say?
I don't think so. Just thank you for a lovely interview, I guess. That was fun.
Great, thank you. And that is the end of our interview. Thank you so much for listening.